Information provided by Carlee.
And when I talked to you all on Saturday, you all still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached out to the Hoover Police Department to ask whether they're looking for an individual involved. Police have just said they're following up on all information provided by Carlee.
And when I talked to you all on Saturday, you also said your daughter is a fighter and she would find a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was fighting for her life?
Oh, she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally fight for her life.
And what are they doing right now to either validate or invalidate her story?
Well, I think certainly if you look at the physical evidence, and I would start obviously with the video evidence of the camera that picked up the car along the interstate, certainly the camera or the video does not in any way show a toddler near or in any proximity to where she ultimately stopped. In fact, if you watch the video, she actually goes down the highway for a good distance before she finally comes to a stop. The first thing as an investigator, I think anybody could appreciate that if you saw a toddler in the middle of the night out there on an interstate, you would stop your car instantly and get out frantically and try to protect that child. The behavior of seeing the car continue down the highway, number one, is inconsistent with the belief that in fact there was a child along the road. Also, I think you would understand and appreciate and anticipate that other motorists would have made the same observations and would have called 911 or would have stopped their vehicles, obviously to render aid to this child in obviously grave danger. So those are the obvious direct evidence that I would have a problem with. I see this case, unfortunately, more as she may have been involved with someone else, and maybe in order to have an alibi for where she was. I think we may see this case unravel in the days to come.
So, Stuart, how do investigators go about tracking her account, putting some of these pieces together?
Well, the first thing is the cell phone was left on the side of the road. And so, of course, it is my understanding that the phone will not offer any information with respect to after she apparently allegedly was abducted. However, the phone will be of importance to backtrack and see who she was talking to, who she was texting, and most importantly, in fact, we saw the advancement of this technology, the location services that are indicative now in all cell phones, where it can pinpoint with direct accuracy as to where she was at any particular time. They'll be able to go back and see where or whether or not, in fact, there's some validity to where she was coming from. I think they're going to look at that cell phone information, and then, of course, they're going to attempt to interview her and see whether or not the story that was alleged, does it in fact pair up with the physical evidence. But again, that's to be seen. And again, the other obvious thing when we talk about direct evidence is that if someone was abducted, as soon as you would break free from your captive, you would not walk home. You would immediately go to the first person or the first house or the first someone and obviously get someone to call 911 and render assistance to you. This idea that you walked home is inconceivable. It's not believable, and it's not consistent with logic. And so that in and of itself is going to be a problem for her.
A lot of gaps in the story, a lot law enforcement didn't say. We'll await those details. Stuart Kaplan, thank you for the breakdown.
As the Carlee Russell story unfolds, There are many, many loopholes in the story, and social media is starting to come up with their own analysis of what actually happened to Carlee Russell that night. There are many speculations on social media as to what really happened. However, I'm going to play the dispatch audio of that night. This is the original, unedited version of when Carlee actually called in and asked for assistance. However, if you pay attention, you'll note that the dispatcher actually called Carlee back within seconds and she did not answer. So we are just unraveling this story. Up next, I'm going to play that dispatch audio, which is the unedited audio, the original version. That's coming up next.
.442 for 71.
42.
71. It's going to be 459 south, mile marker 10. It's going to be a child walking on the 3 or 4 year old child walking on the side of the interstate next to her. RP's going to be close by in a red Mercedes sedan with the hazards on. Child's going to be a white male wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper.
42 copy from Watts, yeah.
4. .442. RP's advising there's no cars in the area. Looks like the child's been abandoned on the side of the road.
42 copy.
.442. You're actually going to have to access from 31. They're going to be plotting just before the exit. 441, can I get you to head that way?
10th room, using that way. When you still got him on the phone?
Negative, but she's stated that she would stand by for police. CLA, red in color, to Nicole Russell out of Birmingham, 1011.
Five 13. I'm gonna ride on 71 as well.
10-4, we're not getting the female to answer.
42, I copy. Are there any numbers associated with the 28?
10-4, that's the RP. We're trying to call her back. She's not answering.
First
33.
Rico to 67 in the Alpha. Echo.
10-4.
511. I'm gonna ride to the interstate as well. Can you give me a description on the child, and were they southbound, walking southbound?
10-4. Southbound, walking southbound. It was a toddler, 3 or 4 year old, wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper. RP arrived in a red Mercedes, along with the RP's description was going to be.
Copy. Thank you. 42, just be advised, her vehicle is unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
Ten four.
What do you believe happened to Carlee Russell? Do you believe it was a hoax? Online reports and various TikTokers have presented messages that they're stating are messages of Carlee. One TikToker is alleging that she has an inside connection and various law enforcement officials have been fired because they have leaked information. Some of the information that currently exists is that Carlee Russell has given a report to the police and basically stated that she was in a car and was fed Cheez-Its for hours, and also the kidnappers painted her fingernails, and she was able to escape, and then she somehow ran across a field to her home. Now, I don't know if that's true. This is all alleged, but there is definitely something that is not true about this story. I don't know if there's information that the police are not actually releasing, but there is tons of information online that is speculating that there is some untruthfulness about this story. In terms of the video footage, they have actually lightened that footage to actually see if there was a kid on the highway, and they are saying that there definitely was not. So we will keep you all posted, and we will follow this story very, very closely. But there is a lot of speculation out there, and hopefully within the next few days or so, we will have some updates as to what really happened to Carlee Russell. Thank you.